I think is what's great about being in your own business as well. You can be open to more opportunities where if you're in a job, it's more you're doing the same thing. One of my biggest takeaways would be for small businesses, not having only one stream of income in your business. Having, if you could be doing 2 or 3 different ways of generating income in your business can be a lot safer. Or how else can I sell a product? Do I need to go to the markets? Can I change things up a bit? If no one knows about your product, it doesn't matter how great it is. You've got to really get out there.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Ways to Wealth. Make sure my mic's on. Today I'm joined by Naadia. Naadia, why don't you give us the too long didn't read about who you are and what got you here?
Okay, got it. My name is Naadia Jackson. I'm an online marketing expert for small businesses.
Yeah.
I have helped hundreds and hundreds of clients over the years to really get their businesses up and running and going. But I started when I was 19. So my first business when I was 19.
Right.
And my whole business has come about where people will go to me, can you do this? And I'm like, sure.
Right.
And make it happen. So I've created databases, like coded databases. I had an event management company. I'm a treasurer of the Wakahama Club. And I've done a lot of, I used to have a whole lot of international speakers and New Zealand speakers that we used to work with. And now I do online marketing for a whole lot of small businesses from a huge range of different things, from really high-level memberships to just start out in business. And I've just created a new packaging that I'm looking at the moment called Your Uniqueness, which is all about women over 40 who are wanting to start up in business.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And they're not very techie savvy, but they know what they want to do and they just want to get it all done. And they just need a roadmap to where they need to go.
Right.
And then in the next couple of years, I'm looking at having over 500 people gone through that program and speaking on 4 international stages.
Okay. And also speaking on international.
Yeah. So I want to also speak on international stages as well.
About the subject. I really niche down into empowering women that are over 40 to get into business.
Exactly. And knowing that they, because a lot of the time, women over 40, they kind of, if they're coming out of corporate or whatever, they know what they want to do. They've got a little bit of money behind them and they just want to get it going. They want to get it started, but they want to do it properly. And I'm also a woman over 40 and I've been in business for a very long time. I know all the ins and outs. And my biggest thing that I heard from my clients is, I wish I'd known you at the beginning.
Yeah.
To really get all their foundations sorted from the beginning rather than making all the mistakes they do along the way.
Yeah, that's totally valid. Okay, but you've been an entrepreneur your entire life then?
Pretty much, yeah.
So mainly solo entrepreneur? Have you built teams? Like, what's the kind of...
I had my own business working with others as well. I have had teams with me as well. It's gone up and down depending on what I'm wanting to do.
Yeah.
At the moment, I've got me and a virtual assistant who is supporting me with this. And we're looking at creating a team because the more work we take on, the more people will need to manage the workflow.
Yeah, interesting. And where do you think you got that entrepreneur? What was the catalyst or necessity that kind of drove you to basically business ownership and kind of self-employment / business ownership for a long time?
Yeah. I used to work for Microsoft Services, which is, they used to do all the software and stuff, and we used to do all the sales support for them.
Right.
It just ended up being that somebody said something to me, would you like to do this? I'm like, sure. And then it just kind of built from there. The whole thing's really built from, it's come from something, and then somebody will suggest something, and then it works from that. But it's also been that when I was pregnant with my first child, he's now 18, so it was a bit after that. I was like, I wanted to do something for myself. I don't want to, and I did work for somebody at little times during that session, so it wasn't fully business, but I always had it as a side business as well. And then walking up to actually leaving the kind of corporate job I was in and going, okay, I'm pregnant. I was at an event and I like these people. And I went up to one of the guys and goes, what is it going to take for me to work with you? And he goes, what you're good at? And I'm really good at technology and I'm good at explaining technology. And he goes, okay, yep, sweet, no problem. We'll do some work. And I'm like, okay. So we started working together. And then we created an event management company from that, getting international speakers on board. And then I left that, we left that, we stopped that business and started another. So I've started businesses with others and then also with myself as well. And I've worked with lots and lots of people over the years. It's been really amazing to see seeing how people start and where they're finishing. It's been amazing.
Totally. And is there a primary motivation behind it?
I wanted to, so my mother's a careers advisor.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's all about career paths.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was a conscious decision that I didn't want to be like her.
Yeah.
But she did not get it. She did not get what my business is about. She just doesn't understand how I'm making money. She didn't get it at all until I started working out of her home one day. It's a home office. So I took one of the rooms in her home and said, Mum, I'll have it as my office. And I started working and she's like, you are on calls all day. And I'm like, yes, I'm supporting businesses get their sales up and running. And it was amazing how that I hadn't realized that she hadn't realized that I could make money another way. But it's, when I was pregnant with my son, I'm like, I need to do this a different way. I don't want to have to, go travel an hour to get to work and then travel an hour to get back. And also miss my kids' stuff, because there's so many little things. So now I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. Obviously, and I can change my schedule depending on what I want to do. I just type it into Google and go, I'm available these days or not these days. And that's how my people can get in touch with me through those appointment slots. And I can live the life I want. It's also helped us with getting our renovations. It's helped us get a home because my husband's in construction, which there's only so high he can go with that.
Right.
And I'm the one that brings in more money so that we can actually have the lives we do. Like, we could go to Christchurch for 5 days. Why not? Or go overseas. We're going to Samoa soon because he's Samoan. And so it's just been being able to do what I want when I want, and being able to support amazing people. It's the supporting amazing people that make a big difference. The money's great, but that's what gets me up in the morning.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's always interesting to kind of think about the past of the day-to-day interactions you're having, how you're spending your time, and how that if that's fulfilling, that's makes it easier, and it does. It's unrelated necessarily to the outcome or that you're looking for as your own person, and your own goals for your family and your household, and how it plays that dual role. It was really interesting. I was speaking to a friend of mine who's got into a really great corporate role now, was running his own business. Is like, I do miss just being able to go and play golf when I want, and that's obviously one of the benefits of being your own boss or your own leader. But at the same time, it's like, but also I don't miss payroll.
Yeah, I can get that. And it's nice knowing that, if you're on holiday, that you get paid for that, which we can do as a business as well, but that's different. One of the things I've really found in business is, and this is what I love dealing with people who, they go, I've got a plan. I'm going to do this plan and it's going to be exactly like this. And I'm like, okay, great, cool. And then 3 years later, talk to them and go, how was the plan? They're like, it's nothing like the plan. And I'm like, I didn't think it would be. Because a lot of time when you start out in business, you got an idea of where you want to go.
Yeah.
But if you're stuck to a plan, then you close yourself up from all the opportunities that could come into that plan. Because you never know who's going to be here. We could be having, somebody, for example, could be watching this podcast and go, I want to work with you, I want to do all this stuff. And that was come out of nowhere. Or that if you're not open to the other opportunities, which is something I think is what's great about being in your own business as well, you can be open to more opportunities. Where if you're in a job, it's more you're doing the same thing to a certain degree. Depending on what the role is. Completely.
Where the role is.
Whether you can actually, and also if you're in a business that is open to more opportunities too, because some are and some aren't. And that's what I love about being in business as well, is you should always be open to all sorts of opportunities that come, and then you can say yes or no. You can't stop yourself from looking at those opportunities, which I do find that some people do if they're stuck on a plan. It's always good to have a plan, but just know that you could offshoot on it's like driving along a country road and suddenly go, oh, this cafe looks good. It's always good to have a look at those little offshoots as well.
Yeah, for sure. You don't know what door's going to creak open, and then
Correct.
you often have to go through it in order to really fully experience it. They actually have this kind of process, I'm not too familiar with that, at Amazon, around closing doors and revolving doors, around decision making,
Okay.
and basically identifying before you make a decision. I think it's something Bezos wrote about, and it's become, I guess, a part of their culture, perhaps, around, understanding whether something is a decision that you can basically, that is permanent in nature and binary,
Yes.
or something that, you can actually come back through.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, quite good, because a lot of smaller businesses or people that are basically getting into business for the first time actually may not have the faintest idea about all the different kind of components of business.
Oh, completely. There's a lot of people that have got ideas, and they're great ideas, but don't have the knowledge to how to make that idea a reality. And that's what's so great about having a business coach as well, is making sure that you have got somebody who can support you. But also knowing if that person's not a right fit, you can always try somebody else.
Yeah, and it's also seasonal. You might need certain help at certain points, and then
completely and utterly.
there's different remedies and different ways you can kind of go about tackling it.
And knowing that there's a lot of support out there for small business. You just need to look for it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then put your hand up for it, and then go for it. The other thing is, one of the things I always talk to my clients is what version of business are you at? So what version are you at? Are you at version 1 where you're just starting out, and then you need to, in a way, have a budget for the version 1? Because a lot of time people, when they're at version 1 of their business, go, oh, I want it to be here, like version 10. And so they're willing to pay a lot of money
to try and get
to make it to version 10, but they don't have the database, they don't have they just don't have the stuff for it. So I'm always like, okay, if you're at version 1, have a budget for version 1. So it might be a basic website, it might be a basic foundations, it might be that you want to put more money into the marketing of it, or getting really clear on what your product and services is in version 1. Then as you move higher, then you can get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, if you've been in business before, this is a little bit different. Because if you've been in lots of, you already know what to do. But if you're starting out in business, it's really good to have all these dreams, but get really specific about what you're wanting to start off. Because a lot of time also, they might have 6 things they want to do, and then they want to start them all at the same time. And that is a recipe for disaster right there. It's always good to start with one. And it's a bit like anything. You start with one product or service, and then you can add more.
Yep.
Because you've already got a base that loves you, and that always makes a big difference as well.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a bit like any business. They offer suddenly, they've got their base, they've got their products, and suddenly they'll add a new service in, and that can be a lot better than having a whole lot of services straight away.
Yeah, focus is important, and you only have limited resources and limited bandwidth in your head.
Oh, yes. Women seem to have a more bandwidth, but less it's a much, we try to think we're multitaskers.
Yeah.
That works to a certain degree as long as everything gets finished.
Right.
But it's much easier and that's why you get a coach or something to bring you back to, okay, what's we actually doing?
Yeah.
I had a client the other day, and she's like, can I do this or this? And I'm like, well, you could do either. She looks at me and I'm like, okay, I want you to do this one. And she's like, okay, thank you. She just needed me to tell her which one she needed to start with. Otherwise, she'd literally do 2 or 3.
Did she know which one she needed to do?
I could tell which one she wanted to start with, but she needed me to tell her.
And then you told her one that she ultimately...
Well, not the product or service, but I want you to just take on this particular bit here, and then we can move to the next one's next.
Yeah, for sure.
And, even when you're sometimes even when you're in a high-flying position in a business, it's really great to have someone that you can, who can even say to you, look, I know there's a lot of noise, let's just focus on this one thing. And just being told that sometimes is what people need.
Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting because we do think differently, males and females. They do think differently, and I've worked with both. It's quite interesting. And then I'll just go, but, and they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, sweet, okay, that was easy. With the woman, we have to talk about it a bit more.
Right, yeah. Deliberate. Make sure it's the right thing. Well, that's also a pretty strong benefit from time to time.
Oh, completely. There's good things, and there's sometimes I found with a lot of the males that sometimes they can be very focused on one thing. You're like, okay, that's great, but I need you to work on this. and just bringing it back. But anyway, and this is what's so great with being a mentor, and that is that you get to deal with lots of different people, and everyone has their own different ways. I love working with women, mainly because they understand my popcorn thinking a bit better.
Okay.
Going from topic to topic.
Right.
Which is what I do. Sometimes it can be easier when I'm dealing with females who, and then they get that, or they'll go, nah, that's too popcorn for me. And I'm like, sweet. Okay, no problem. Bring it back and let's just think about one thing at a time.
Right.
So it can be quite fun both ways.
Yeah, for sure. Depending on it depends what, like, are you at an ideation and discovery phase or execution phase?
Oh, completely.
And stage one is often that, and that's the most fun you're going to have is to start.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then it's going to suck for ages.
Well, yes, and I think it's also
Probably.
but I think it's also about getting yourself out there and being part of groups, especially as a woman. I found that the best thing you can do is join different women groups who are the same. They don't have to be in the same industry at you at all, but it's a big path, same path, because we all have certain things that are similar. Because a lot of time, and I'm probably genders stereotyping a little bit here, but I found that with the majority of the women I work with, we're mums.
Yeah.
Or we have kids that we look after. And so we've got to keep that, and that's like another job that we have as well.
True.
So you might have 2 or 3, and then you've got the partner who may be amazing, completely amazing as well, but sometimes you've got to look after the home as well. It just becomes more jobs. So it's always really interesting to see where we're all at. And I think it's a little bit more, especially with small businesses, we're a little bit more open to the things that work and the things that don't.
Right. Yeah, totally. So what's the, like, so you basically want to have 500 clients?
500 clients who've gone through the new program, which is for 40 plus essentials, setting up all their businesses, setting up their foundations.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I found, and I've worked with a client who was quite established, and they had a great Facebook presence. They had lots of people coming through there trying to inquire for their courses and things like that.
Right.
So they didn't have the systems or anything set up behind it. And my thing is, if you don't have everything set up when you market to them, how do they get in touch with you? Can you handle them getting in touch with you? Do you have a lead magnet process, so you get the client and then they go through a process? Do you have all that? Now, that might not sound very sexy, but it will save you huge amounts of time and lost opportunities if we can get our marketing right. Even down to, do we know who our actual ideal client is? And I have a lot of people that go, oh, I hate that question. I'm like, yes, I know. But if you don't know who it is, you can't. Yeah, it's like, but everyone needs my product. Yes, but not everyone's going to buy it. And so, knowing who your ideal client is, especially as a small business who don't have a big marketing budget. Somebody goes to me, I got told that I was too niche and elitist. And I'm like, yes, that's what marketing is. You don't want to market to everyone. You want to market to the people that are going to buy. Because if you market to everybody, you might as well go, whoop.
Well, it's top. So our business is interesting from a kind of perspective because we're essentially trying to create what we believe to be what banking was supposed to be for small businesses and executive. And top of funnel is, like, we've got top of funnel and then we've got bottom of funnel, and that's how we think about it. And then obviously nurturing the clients we have, our clients. But top of funnel for us has been really, we haven't nailed top of funnel yet. But we're really good at bottom of funnel.
Got it. Yeah.
So
once they're in, it's great.
Yes.
Getting them in.
It's when you've got kind of a nuanced thing, which is like, it's kind of like a private bank, but a membership model.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And you can kind of access advice, financial and non-financial, specifically around wealth building.
Yes.
Without being sold anything. Because you're not being sold financial products. So basically the realization was
just the advice kind of thing to then choose what you want to.
Yeah, information, but also execution. So like, we have disintermediated product you can consume, but you own it all. You're not going into a fund. So it's kind of like, but because because that's quite a nuanced subject, it's very hard to get top of funnel right, basically.
Yes.
Get that message right.
But it's also one of the things I find the most interesting is a lot of businesses who are corporate speak corporate.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things like you were just saying then, right, is quite corporate speak, where most small businesses don't speak corporate. And I've even had people, when they're doing their business plans going, oh, I find this so hard, I can't speak, And I'm like, you don't need to, you just need to speak normal.
Yeah.
Where a lot of corporates, we speak corporate, we don't speak simple language. And the funniest thing is, whatever you think of Donald Trump, because I'm not a fan, but one of the things I heard about him is that he always speaks like he's speaking to a sixth grader.
Right.
So everyone understands him.
Yeah.
No matter whether they believe in him or not, right? That's not the point. Everyone understands at least the words that are coming out of his mouth. And so one of the things is to look at is going, okay, are we making what we say simple enough?
Yeah.
For me to understand who is your end client, not you who's in the business. And that's also could be why, because your business sounds really interesting, just need to simplify it down because I have to, it's like another language where I have to compute in my head what you're trying to say. And it's, it's really interesting. And that's the thing is knowing who your ideal client is and how they speak. So, for example, anyone over the age of 30, if you don't have good punctuation for them, all they'll see is your bad spelling mistakes.
Right. Yeah.
You've got to speak in full sentence. Like, I got sent this other thing the other day that somebody sent me an acronym. I'm like, what? And then I sent her back something and she goes, I told you that I wasn't going. And I'm like, when did you tell me? And that's what that acronym meant. Oh, never mind. NVM, I don't know, something. I'm like, okay, no, full sentences, please. No acronyms. I don't understand what it means.
Yeah.
And so it's really important when you're looking at who your ideal client is, all top of the funnel is really, and you can have multiple, is really looking at going, okay, who are they? How do they sound? And where do I find them? Well, even down to their feeling. Do you want to get them to feel overwhelmed? Do you want them to feel relaxed? Do you want to feel whatever? So one of the things about going to my website is when you go to my website, it's obviously for women. It's got a very womanly feel, but it's quite calming. So they're overwhelmed. They come here and I answer their questions and they're like, oh, thank goodness. Somebody who can just do the technology for me. And so that's the same thing as when you're making your websites or your feeling or your words is being really, really specific about who you're talking to, even down to we have names. So my ideal client is Donna.
Yeah.
She's 52. She's an interior designer. She's actually a real person. But so when I write or do anything, I don't go, hi, Donna, but I write to Donna. So will this website, will Donna like it? Is it obviously friendly on mobile and everything else, but does it speak to them? Am I speaking to their pain points in a simple manner? I find that a lot of time we get way too technical.
Right.
And everything feels like there's not much feeling in websites. I can always tell when a male has made a website. It's technically competent, not all of them, but I'm like, oh, there's no soul. And if you're dealing with women, you need some soul.
Right, yeah, for sure.
So it was just, I'm stereotyping all over the place of the time, but this is what I found.
Yeah, well, it's kind of observing patterns, right?
Oh.
The reason why stereotypes exist, and it's because,
see it over and over.
You see it when you see something multiple times. There's obviously some level of truth, but it's just not an absolute.
No, not.
No stereotype is an absolute, but I mean, humans are designed to basically see over and over again and then label them.
Exactly.
Which is a trap as well. So that's why you have to focus on maybe knowing or trying to find out ways of working out if you are in one of those kind of traps.
Yeah, completely.
But I think it's fair to make fun of.
Well, I think it's over the years of my experience, but it's been the biggest thing I find out with women is we need support, as in from other women, because sometimes our families aren't that supportive. When you go and ask mum and dad about their ideas, your thoughts of your idea, that's not necessarily the best way of doing it. But other women who are in industries that can, it's huge. I'm part of about 3 or 4 different women groups, and they make a big difference. I think I'm actually seeing one of my peer-to-peer mentorings tonight. Actually, there's 4 of us, and we all support each other and keep ourselves accountable. But then I'm also part of other groups where it's not that. It's both males and females, and that's been great too.
Yeah, that's cool. So would you say your 5-year goal is like the 500 clients and getting and speaking?
In 5 years, I want to be less hands-on.
Yep.
Probably doing the first 1 or 2 sessions, maybe having a team maybe doing that as well, and then having the team actually creating all the products with me, not having to be there.
Right.
That's my 5-year plan. And then maybe even selling the business, because one of the good things about if you're in business is looking at what your exit strategy is.
Yep.
Because if you think about selling it, then you'll get all the systems in place and you get everything that's going to make being able to have a team easier. Because if you don't have systems, the team can't do what you need them.
Yeah, we look at that a lot.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
In our business.
Well, because you've got you've got the products that need to be systemized, but then you've all got, every time you bring in a new person, you've got to train them.
Yeah, for sure. So businesses in New Zealand, small and medium enterprises, trade at a 70% discount from Australia, Canada, the UK, and the US.
What do you mean by that?
So on a multiple basis,
Yeah.
right? So if I'm in New Zealand, a company will sell for, let's say, 1.5 to 2 times profit
Got it.
on average.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas an average in those other countries, it's 6 times.
Yeah, that would be right.
So why is that? Well, it's because of some of those things that you mentioned around succession planning, key person risk, modernization, and then liquidity as well. So because those things don't exist, buyers don't come into the market because it's just too hard.
And then it's also about the number of people.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
Well,
Well, is it the database? Is it the database size? Or
no, so from a multiple perspective, it's not about the size, like the opportunity, right? Because it's a relative.
Yes, it is. Yes. Got it.
So it's a multiple on your revenue. So if you have a little bit of revenue, it should potentially, in theory, be the same.
Okay.
So why is the multiple different?
Interesting.
And that's that's something that often isn't considered around. And also, like, we had someone the other day that met with one of our experts around a management buyer. They wanted to stay in the business.
Right, they didn't want to manage it.
And they didn't want to sell it because they knew they wouldn't get what they wanted, and they were getting a healthy dividend.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do a management buyout where they could basically take maybe a couple of their key members, bring them up through the business, make them owners, and then still collect the dividend without having to sell the asset.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people end up losing assets at bad prices, but they don't do succession right. It gets too late, and then it's a fire sale.
Yeah.
So that's like often the sad thing that you see. Like, especially in New Zealand with farms, if you try and give your offspring the farm at 50, they're probably not keen. They're probably past it.
Yeah, they need
typically.
Yes, because you
need to be getting it. If you're trying to do an intergenerational business with an intergenerational asset, the succession plan needs to be in the successor's 30s.
It's when they're interested.
When they're interested and have the motivation to really push it.
And doing innovation, they wouldn't with their. I completely agree with that. The other thing is also when you've got the systems in place that you can sell the system on, the price is a lot more as well with that.
Yeah, there are all sorts of levers you can push.
And then also not having only one stream of income in your business. Having, if you could be doing 2 or 3 different ways of generating income in your business can be a lot safer, especially in today's world. Like COVID was a huge thing. I mean, we did huge amounts of work during COVID because everyone needed support. So I was the busiest I've ever been during COVID. It was great for us business wise, but for a lot of businesses that wasn't the case. And even now, with the recession or whatever we're in at the moment, because it keeps changing, and Donald Trump is so helping all of that too, that you've got to look at how if this part of the business isn't working, can this part work? Can I bring, or how else can I sell a product? Do I need to go to the markets? Can I change things up a bit?
Yeah.
And you've got to look at different ways of doing it, because sometimes online is not even working as well as it could do. You've got to really get out there. But one of my biggest takeaways would be for small businesses.
Yeah.
If no one knows about your product, it doesn't matter how great it is. So you've got to market it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people go, I don't want to tell anybody, or I don't want to market, or I don't like marketing. But if you don't tell anybody, what's the point of having your product?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we find that. We work with a lot of technologists. And there's 2 types. which we like to work with us, is our sweet spot.
Yeah.
We would like a third one being modernization for established, longer, like older businesses. But our key is either technologists that don't know how to sell, really good technical minds, don't know how to sell, or people with very deep domain knowledge, but then want to turn that into software. Turning it into software without really designing it to the business problem. If you don't have the background in technology and building technology, you build it wrong, which means you build it 3 times before it's right. And that's actually the problem. It's and then the whole scope of how long it takes just blows out. So you have those two kind of dynamics of persona, business persona, which is quite good, because then you can focus on, okay, well, you can kind of attach the solution to that persona.
And I find that one of the biggest things with technology as well is you need to listen to what your customers are wanting and seeing what they're wanting, not what you necessarily think they want.
And that's a mixture of both.
Sometimes
consumers don't know what they...
That is so true as well, yes.
But it's like, but you can't build too, you can't build too far and then find out that you've made something too complex because you know the problem too well, for example. So it's like that mixture of sometimes consumers actually don't know what they want because it doesn't exist, maybe. And that's also another difference between going in and building a business where there's a well-established roadmap to success, and building something that doesn't exist and is becoming zero. Is that book from Peter Thiel, 0 to 1?
Yeah.
0 to 1's the hardest. 1 to 10's actually way easier.
Because you kind of vaguely know where you're going.
But 0 to 1 is just super hard. And knowing that you're in a 0 to 1 business is really quite helpful, rather than, I'm creating a rental car business, and rental car businesses already exist. Therefore, there's a bunch of roadmaps on how, and case studies on how that service.
And you can actually
consume, etc.
And it's okay to look at those. It's great to look at what other people are doing. One of the biggest things with any business is, and it could even be established business where you're going back, is to make sure that you're still on track with, do you know what your products and services are? How much money they're even making? Who's even interested in them? Because you can have a suite of 10 products and you're marketing them all, but only 2 of them are actually working. So why are we marketing the others?
Yeah.
The other thing is that with marketing is sometimes you just need to market enough to get them in the door, and then you can sell them a whole suite once you get them in. Because it's about... And once they love you and know you, it's much easier. And so sometimes we do need our face more, but maybe it's also just a personality in the business can make a big difference. Because everyone's, I suppose sometimes got a little bit less all casual. Because, we go to work now and we're all in sneakers and whatever. That never used to be the case.
Right.
And now it's gotten a lot, but everyone's more comfortable, everyone's more relaxed, but we're getting the work done, which is really important. But, and this is the thing with marketing is it's very subjective. It's always changing. But you've got, if you're going to not, your elderly as your ideal client, for example, you've got to find out where they are.
Yep.
There's no point going, I'm going to go on TikTok. I'm like, but they don't look at, they may not look at TikTok.
Not yet.
But the other thing is with TikTok, and I suppose everything is, you can go out to the world, but your place is, if you're only based in Whakatane or something, it's a bit harder, and you have to have people only based there. Is that the best thing? It's all
physical, yeah.
So not all platforms are the same, as we know, and not all way you're delivering it is the same, but delivering it, having twerking somebody on you if you're 90, if your clients are 90, might not be the best way. So it's always really important to know who your ideal client is. And it may change, and it will change over the years too. But it's really good to go in your business, checking out what products and services you're working. Is your branding still working with those products and services? And then, maybe doing a revamp of your branding, because people go, I need your brand to be perfect when I start. No, you don't.
No.
You do not need your branding to be perfect when you start. You can have a signature as the logo. But it's also good if you can, before you launch, is to get a database beforehand. Getting people.
A database of people.
Of people who are interested in what you're doing. So it might be an email list, or an email list is still the best thing. Is it, Facebook or Instagram? But the biggest thing with Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or anything, if you scroll, most of those aren't businesses. They're people or the groups you're part of or the sponsored posts. But emails at least get there.
Right. Yeah.
Whether people open them or not. But it cracked me up. Somebody goes the other day, I don't look at my emails. I said, Trilly, what's on your phone? What's the thing at the bottom? Oh, my emails. How often do you look at them? Oh, 10 or 12 times a day. And I'm like, yes, and you think emails have gone? They haven't. So it's interesting to have a look at where you're marketing, who you're marketing to, and having an email list is so important.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have got an email list that you email.
Well, I mean, we have users. I mean, we have a really good CRM system that's open source and we've built out and made for us, and we run our whole business through it.
Yep.
And then, our other companies that are involved with that, we can then pass that knowledge on to them and have them implement the same processes. So it does make a huge difference.
Systems are so important in a business. And,
So, yeah, I totally agree. So with your persona, how would you go about creating, how would you advise people go about creating that persona, that first persona?
I think the hardest thing for us is every time, if we were going to be on video, because most of us don't like being on video,
Right.
is you're going to hate it. You're going to think you look terrible. You think you're going to sound terrible, and you might, and that's okay. But you could even hear, but you gain traction from it. But getting a personality is going, okay, so a lot of it needs to be about the main person, like who. So I'm a bit quirky. I'm fun. I make most people laugh. Maybe not in this situation, but I do. And it's really great to have your writing and that be around that. If you're wanting to be more professional, then that's the personality you would create.
No, I meant the persona of your ideal client. Sorry.
Oh, my ideal client. So how would I find out where they are?
Well, yeah, if you were a new client that was over 40, female founder or business operator that wants to get going, and they have an idea or a solution for something,
how would I figure out?
Now would you build out Donna?
Okay, got it. Okay, very cool. Sorry. The first thing I would do is look at what age range they're going to be. Then you'd look at, are they you go through all these statistics, right? And then if you can, you find a person who is that.
Yeah.
Like an actual person.
Yeah.
So that you can actually talk to them. And then you'd actually go, okay, so if my client is 52 and they like traveling, will they be on travel blogs? Will they be here? Where will they be? Is it more magazines? And then you can actually look at, actually, if they're older, they might want to read stuff in person. Great, I'm going to market into those kind of things. And I've got a list, and I've got a gift for your listeners that they can actually go, hopefully be in the link in the bio, that they can actually download a checklist of all these things. And one of the things on it is, how do you find out who your ideal client is?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Well, they can use that then.
Yeah, there you go. They can use it. And it takes them through a whole lot of different questions that they can ask. You can build it out, and it needs to be updated because you'll change it all the time. And it might go, I don't like Donna anymore. I like Aroha better. Okay, great. Then use Aroha as your ideal client, and you'll slightly change the way you talk to them.
Yeah, makes sense. And that informs the voice of the brand.
Exactly. Okay. And then, so when you know who your ideal client is, and then obviously you need a bit of your personality.
Yeah.
Because if you're,
then you need to know how to talk to them.
Yes. Yeah. So is it more fun? Is it simple? Because I'm dealing with women over 40 who are normally a little bit more stressed with everything else that's going on and getting overwhelmed, I use very simple language, have a little bit of fun in it, a little bit of quirkiness, but it's very, very simple, so that when they come to me, they're like, oh, thank goodness. Naadia's going to just take me through the process and do it. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And I know who those type of clients are, but I've been in business for a while, and that does make it easier.
Yeah. You get reps and practice.
Yeah, but you can always, create some kind of lead magnet, or a lead magnet's like a PDF or a checklist of the people that you think would love it. Put it out there and do an ad to them and see if it works. If it doesn't, try a different demographic or a different age range and go, actually, these people like this more.
Right, totally.
And if you're not sure how to do it, use ChatGPT. Ask it, what's the best things that woman over blah, blah, blah like? And it's amazing what it comes back with. The best thing about AI, they can now help you formulate what you've been thinking.
Yeah.
Then do a lot of the work for you.
Yeah, heavy lifting.
Yeah.
heavy lifting, and then you have to change it.
I like bullet
And,
points.
and you can't,
Putting it in.
and you can't copy straight from it.
Yes,
Because
you have
there
to
are
change it a little bit.
secret characters and stuff inside the things.
Yes.
That if you then copy paste, like then the algorithms in the platforms know.
Oh, interesting. So it's better to copy paste it, change it, or even just write it out again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, yeah, the algorithms will basically
See that you
rank it lower, and then you'll get less visibility. Same with using like the schedulers, Chris. Yeah,
yeah, it's a
one of those, right? It's a weighing up basically. So like, what's the percentage of views do you lose based on that kind of time safety, like time savings?
course, and that's why one of the good things is, and I don't, if you're using Facebook schedule, it should be all right? The one that's actually in Facebook.
That's right.
But then you don't have all the others. And that's the stuff that you've got to look at, really. It's about time versus less. So that was quite good. I hadn't realized that. So if I saw it on the screen and then just typed it out again, it'd be fine.
Yes,
Because they don't realize it's
correct.
in it.
But there are certain ways it writes.
Yes, it does.
So you
Yeah.
have to change that as well.
Yeah. But it's a good starting point.
Yes, amazing.
Amazing. I always go, here's all the points, make it sound gooder.
Gooder.
Sorry.
And then it'll say, yes, I'll make it sound better.
Thank goodness it can fix up our languages.
Exactly.
But that's why you should never have spelling mistakes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's good to know. Okay.
Awesome. Wicked. Well, thank you so much for coming on the pod. Really appreciate it.
So I loved it. It's been fun.
Awesome. Cheers.